Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel and yet another day of Vlogmas. I hope y'all are doing well and holding up and staying safe. That is the goal. Take care of our healthcare workers. Today I thought I would film a get ready with me, like a holiday edition, but in light of Rona, kind of like an everyday, not going anywhere holiday edition. Sort of like the lookbook where I get dressed and yeah, it might be festive, but like ultimately we're not going to dinner. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what this is. It's just I literally just dried my bangs. So they're a little fluffy and they'll set in like 20 minutes. So like, you know what I mean? It's okay. This is part of having very coarse hair. There we go, a little bit better. So this is my super standard look. This video is chatty just because I haven't done one of those in a while, like a chatty get ready with me. And I thought it was time. You know, especially because like yesterday's video was like 2.5 minutes long. I thought this one could be a little longer. So let's get started. I have very freshly washed and dried hair and moisturized skin, and that is where we're at. So let's rock and roll. Using the primer I've used all year, which is the Wonder Glow by Charlotte Tilbury. I do really love this. I like it because it is a very like functional primer if you don't want to wear a ton of makeup. It gives you a nice glow without being one of those glows that you have to like put something on top of, you know what I mean? So you could just put this in like a sunscreen and you're good. That really like light, healthy kind of thing. Yeah. I stepped up my retinol like a couple days ago, so my skin's like a little drier than normal, and my skin's like never dry, but it's just like, hello. And it's winter here now. I live in Texas, so it's not like that cold, but it's cold for us. So yeah, my foreskin's like, what'd you do to me? It's all fine now. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my go-to concealer, which is the Clé de Peau Ivory, underneath my eyes and around like that kind of general area, and then ochre the rest of my face. This stuff spreads really well, especially with the warmth of your hands. So I just kind of dot it and then work it. You want to talk about like, oh, I don't have nails on. I just took them off. I'm going to do them later. I'm putting my third set on, my third holiday set, I should say. I gotta be much more clear. But yeah, so if you're wondering what happened, it was on purpose, don't worry. I kind of forgot that I did that, and I'm filming this, so whatever. But yeah, so anyway, it occurred to me that I hadn't done one of these videos in a minute, and then also I'm gonna do a favorites, like a 2020 favorites that just kind of includes everything, beauty, life, how I survived this year, all of that. But I thought it'd be kind of nice just to have a proper holiday get ready with me, because I've been basically doing the same look every day, you know? Like, the only thing that really changes is the lip liner. Everything else is super consistent, but I think that's a great testament to what I've been using, is I don't have to rotate. You know what I mean? Like, the daily performance of everything's just been amazing. So that's great, right? I don't know about you, but I'm somebody who, especially as I get older, I don't want a ton of variety, because it's just like I got enough decisions I have to make every day, and like deadlines. Like my business is all deadlines, so you know what I mean, where it's like I want to save time and save mental, like that kind of stuff, because I have to make so many of these decisions for my clients that I don't want to make them for myself. You know what I mean? Like I need, not that, it's more like I like having a capsule collection and a really well edited collection, so I just don't have to experiment constantly with myself. I want to experiment when I want to. I feel like I like that better. That sounds a lot more accurate. Neck is like so like mildly irritated. It's like red and a little itchy, just because that kind of tingly itchy. It's because of my retinol, but it's okay. I am like, I mean, like I literally do this for a living. I'm very fluent in what my skin can handle and all of that. So I've got the hydration and everything on. I'm not so worried about it. I just it's still very new, you know, so you're in that kind of like first couple of dates phase. So I don't put a ton. I mean, I know I use the Clay to Poe Sorry, my foot. I know I use the Clay to Poe concealer, which is legit, but you'll notice I spread it. So I don't have like a, I don't have like a ton of coverage necessarily. I just have like a, it's like more of an even everyday amount. And then I have a new Sisley Powder. I got this in my whatever day that newness vlog was that I did. So I'm officially breaking it open today. So something I like to do is just take like a little mirror like this and just kind of make sure that all my little seams, you know, like around the nears of your nose, corners of your mouth, those little areas are super easy to forget. I just make sure those are kind of tended to, because I just feel like that lends such a much more like polished look so easily. And it takes like 2 seconds to do it. So yeah. Okay, so then we set the makeup. God, this is so satisfying, like a fresh one, right? Oh, Jesus. The little things in life. So let's talk a little bit. This is like nice and chatty. How are y'all liking my Vlogmas? Tell me. Tell me what you think. I can tell you I'm going, I feel like I have said this, I just don't know in what. I'm going the whole month of December. I just don't like the way Vlogcember sounds, so I'm saying Vlogmas. Oh my god, I forgot how much powder actually comes out on this thing. Holy shit nuggets. Oh my god, okay. I feel like Billy Crystal in The Princess Bride right now. I'll tell you something I actually am like really excited about is how much stuff I've already thought up for next year. And I don't necessarily mean Vlogmas. I have come up with some ideas for like Christmas in my house and like how I want to do certain things next year, but I don't know if we're going to be in this house next year. So like, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, well, we'll see. If I had to bet money, I'd bet we are not going to be in this house. But I wouldn't bet a lot of money on that. What did I say to you? I'm going the whole month of December, and I'm really looking forward to, honestly, like, I'm really looking forward to the actual holiday. Like, I'm looking forward to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I talked to my dad for like 2.5 hours on the phone last night, and dude, boomers and this fucking virus, I'm like, can you just, I did not keep you home for you to do something stupid and get Rona anyway. So this is the Givenchy bronzer. I've used this for what feels like forever. Love it. This one is in the color Exclaim Sizzle, number 4. And then this brush is the Sephora Featherweight Fan Brush, Pro Featherweight Fan Brush number 92. Yeah, so I've got all these like ideas for next year and like changes I want to make. One of the goals that I had set for myself this year was to build and maintain a schedule for content and like video posting and everything, and I'm so happy that I was able to do that. Like, I never missed a vlog, I never missed, and that meant a lot to me. So I just really wanted to put like a solid year into that, and then from there I wanted to develop my channel, right? Like, I wanted to get much clearer, but just because you're just doing it more, you're around, you're kind of, I call it the flow state. You're like in that flow state more. So the thing that I am thinking about is marrying all of my hobbies and interests and everything that I normally talk about, making that less of a disjointed like video upload thing where it's just like, oh, sometimes it'll be gardening, sometimes it'll be this, sometimes it'll be that, and much more of like a cohesive, like, this is just my life, this is like all of the stuff that I'm into, or, you know, spending my time on, or my work. And then I also have a lot of goals set for myself in terms of like my fitness, because especially because we're high risk, like just the literal lack of going places, like that lack of activity has really started to add up. And it's that kind of thing where it's like you can adjust your diet, but like you still have to eat, you know what I mean? And especially when you've just been conditioned to moving at a pace your whole adult life, and then it just stops so abruptly. Trying to find that happy place between like recognizing that you're in this weird part of life that's just like nobody could have planned and predicted, and you want to give yourself the grace of coping and surviving, but at the same time you don't want to wind up putting yourself in a spot where you compromise, especially for me, like I don't want to like fuck up my surgery recovery or like compromise my overall health, you know what I mean? So trying to find that, and also recognizing that like I just can't go out, like I can't, and so like no amount of Peloton is going to counter that imbalance, right? Or if it does, it's so exhausting that you're just kind of useless otherwise. I'm really trying to set goals that kind of encompass that like 360-ness that I need to achieve, right? And also recognizing that this is just a really awkward, imbalanced time to try to find balance in or make balance in. Yeah, so I'm navigating all of that. I'm kind of percolating ideas and seeing what I feel like I can comfortably achieve, and then what can I stretch goal, right? Like what can I be proud of to achieve? So, because I also need to be mindful of my back and my life and everything. So yeah, I'm so sorry. That shadow that I was using, I just cocktailed these two from the Sophisticate palette by Charlotte. Love. And then this brow pencil is the Louboutin brow pencil in blonde. Obsessed. I like a bold brow. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this by now. I do like a bold brow, but I have such coarse hair that it's really hard to find a formula that can tint the hair and fill in where I don't have some, but at the same time match that texture, and this is like incredible. I've really fallen in love with Louboutin Beauty this year, so you're gonna see more of that next year for sure. So I do like a squared off front brow. I know it's like a very, I mean, depending on who you are, it's kind of controversial. Some people really hate it. I personally, on my face, love it. I totally get like on other people, but for my face, because I have such like a round featured face, you know what I mean? That it just kind of provides some structure that I otherwise wouldn't have. Oh, I can't wait to get vaccinated. I can't wait to be able to just like breathe a little bit and not be just like racked with anxiety about, oh my god, what if this happens? Look at the difference. I haven't brushed it out yet, but look at the difference. I am like dying to go to my med spa. Holy shit. 2020 has aged me. Dying to go to my med spa. And I'm like, you know, something I was gonna try to do this year, but obviously didn't do. My scar here, that scar is a couple of years old now. 2 years old maybe? 2018? Yeah. I would really love to get that fixed. You notice when you're aging, like, oh, that's different now. I want my scar fixed. What did I say? Oh, what did I just tell Jeremy? My nose. Like, you can see it. I see it all the time when I'm editing, when I look up. My, like, nostril. It's always kind of gone this way a little bit anyway, but like the actual like nostril part kind of dips in and it like pulls, and then this comes, like I'm like, what the like what is that? So, and it's getting worse as I age, so I'm like, okay, well that needs to get fixed now, because that drives me nuts. Like I hate that. I also just didn't used to have it, so I'm like, that's like the shit that nobody talks to you about when you age. Sharon Stone, I remember her saying like a long time ago, I have a good nose and noses don't age. And I think about that all the time now, because I'm like, yes they do. Mine did. My nose that like barely works. Anyway, I am going to do a little bit more eyeshadow because I want to. I've been noticing that I really like having, it's like simple, but I love it. Because I'm just doing such a simple, in terms of like amount of stuff, look, but I'm just really overall happy with it, you know? So I just mix those two shades and I buff it into the crease and then kind of into that like, do you remember the phrase outer V? I buff it into that and then I go over it with liner. But it just kind of like opens my eyes a little bit and gives the contrast. And then I'm going to take some liner, which is the Dior Waterproof Crayon in Trinidad Black. And I work that in. And then I just kind of like kick it out a little bit on the outer corner and just do like a real rough trace on top of the lash line. Like for real. And then I'll smudge it out with my angled liner brush. And something I like about this pencil is it is a great pencil liner to do like a smudged out liner look with. So if you don't necessarily want to do liquid, you know, like I don't know why, I just been like kind of, I actually totally know why, false lash extensions. I haven't really wanted to do liquid liner since those. Obviously I don't have them now because of Rona, but like, you know what I mean. But I love this because it like is that perfect, hang on, the inner corner is really not the time to talk about this. It's that perfect blend of smudgeability for a long enough amount of time that you can get it where you want it, and then it sets. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to pack a shadow on top of it or anything like that, which is just really nice. I'm like here for that. And then I just kind of, I mean literally just kind of like smudge and push the liner where I want it to kind of smooth it out, but also soften it and like not so much smoke it, but it's kind of a bite because I don't want it like everywhere, but just to kind of like give you that sort of sootiness, you know, that like real controlled sootiness, if you will. That's what I go for. Y'all, I'm so excited for next year. Like I know we all said that last year for this year, but like having lived through this year and like especially with the end of this year being what it is, where it's just like I mean like I think it's your natural tendency. I'm naturally pretty optimistic, so like just having gone through I think my version of the 2020 blues kind of in that last, oh my kettle's ready, hold please. I don't remember what I was saying to you. But yeah, so I just like that. It's not like perfect, but I also like kind of don't care. It's just like enough, you know? And then between the mascara and everything, it all just kind of works. I am running out of this, but I did order a Louboutin mascara because I've just been so happy with Louboutin that I want to try more stuff. But this is the YSL Curler Mascara. I do really like YSL mascaras. You can hear the Roomba in the background. Oh my god. But yeah, so for next year, I have so many ideas. Hang on, let me close the door so you don't have to hear the Roomba. Okay. Yeah, so for like next year, I have so many ideas because I feel like, I think I was saying, like I went through the kind of like 2020 blues, maybe in September, October, November. Those were like my months where I was just really like, ugh. And I think part of it was, I mean, there's just a lot, right? Like, for me, part of it was just like, it feels like nobody's listening. You know, like nobody's staying home, nobody's doing what they need to be doing, and it feels really disrespectful to healthcare workers. So I get really mad about that because, like, I'm so grateful to healthcare workers for saving my dad, and to think that, like, just 6 months later, if that had happened when it did, or if it had happened to think that, like, if that had happened 6 months later than it did, I wouldn't have been able to go into a hospital and stay with my dad. Like, I just can't, you know what I mean? But to not show just like basic courtesy and respect for people that are literally risking their lives and their sanity to keep us safe and like save our lives, you know what I mean? And like try to keep us going. I just cannot understand. Like, they're not, I don't know, man. They're not sworn into office. They don't have an oath to show up to work. They can quit. And I just, like, I cannot wrap my head around just that total disregard. So I think part of it was just like processing how disappointed I was in everybody. You know what I mean? And I think the other part of it was just the collective, like cumulative not going anywhere. You know, we just haven't done it. So, yeah. But anyway, the holidays have been a nice little reprieve just in terms of keeping me busy. Vlogmas has been really great because it's kept me, like I'm always busy, but it's kept me so busy that like it reminds me of when I used to work like literally 7 days a week for crazy hours every day and like didn't have a life. It kind of reminds me of that feeling of just like, I like look at everything I can get done in a day kind of thing. And that's actually been a nice feeling to have in the context of this year, right? It's been a nice reminder that you can still be extremely busy and productive despite not having any control over like, you know, what feels like 70% of your life. So that's been really helpful. And I'm somebody who just like thrives being really busy and productive. So that's like my favorite thing. So yeah, it's actually been great. And then it's really gotten my wheels turning for next year and like what I want to change about my channel and things I want to implement and, you know, directions I want to go in and goals and things I want to strive for and just all of that, right? Because I feel like that's important as a human to want to grow and to develop. But I have so many ideas about my whole life that I want to do that with. And then I think, God, it'd be so cool to document that. You know what I mean? Because like, why not? These are the Kiss So Wispy lashes, number 11. That's what these are. I get a 5-pack of them. These are what I've been wearing pretty much the whole time. The second I didn't have lash extensions, I went to these because these kind of look like close enough, you know. They're not, believe me, the second I can, I'm going to get lash extensions again. I miss those things, but I can't do that. And I've gone back and forth on getting Lashify, but like, I don't know, man. Everything I've heard is like I'd probably be somebody who'd be reapplying those things every day, and I don't want some like hybrid extension product that I have to take out every day, like clip-in extensions for my eyes. You know what I mean? Like I don't want clip-in extensions for my hair, so why would I put them on my eyes, right? Does that make sense? God, I should not have taken my nails off before I did this because my nails are so helpful with placing my lashes. Oh, I didn't think that through. Oh well. The kids are so excited for Santa and for Christmas. I told them that Fauci vaccinated Santa so he can come down the chimney, and they're so excited, and that was really cute. Like really, I'm really pumped for that because I was like, we were going back and forth about like, oh, should we tell him to go out back, you know? And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So that's where those letters came in. And then I press, just in case you want to know what I'm doing, my liner brush. I just kind of use that to push my lash band where I really want it because I can't really see it between my mascara and my liner. So I just kind of go off of feel and I just kind of nudge it in place. I mean, like, ultimately, I'm not going to a photo shoot. I'm not going out to dinner. Like, it doesn't really matter if they lift a little bit because I'm just at home. But it really does help me feel like myself when I have, more like myself, I should say, when I have all of this, when I'm, like, ready. Because I can only, what did I tell him? Because he said something to me. It was like a joke for a while. He was like, are you filming whenever I have makeup on? And I was like, no, I just cannot handle looking like a trash cat that many days in a row. I just mentally cannot be in that place. You know what I mean? I just can't. No disrespect to people who are like cool with it. I just am not cool with it. I cannot deal with it. I like need, what was I gonna tell you? That Charlotte Tilbury tinted moisturizer thing, that like glow, like that's so great. I wore that in the grocery haul And it's because like it just gives you that little bit, right? Just that little bit. Because if you can't do whatever, you don't have the time, you don't have the energy, whatever's going on, just kind of helps you over the bridge a little bit, right? And that is so nice. I forgot blush. Charlotte Tilbury Ecstasy. This is such a good blush if you've got my coloring. I like love it. It looks like that in the pan. And it just is like a really beautiful bit of color. But it doesn't compete. It's not like, oh, I have cheeks on today. It just kind of works. Okay, so from there, we check our lashes to make sure they are indeed on and not wonky. That's fine. That's fine. It's not perfect, but like, where am I going? If I wanted to be more festive, I would take this palette of Pops here and that black. Actually, let's just do it because it's the holidays. So like, let's do it. I would take this with my liner brush and I just kind of work it into my lashes and like lash line. And it just gives me that little bit of sparkle, that little bit of festive flair. Like micro-dosed, you know what I mean? I did Pilates today. I tried out the new Peloton Pilates. I took 45 minutes with the DT. And I just did the beginners, even though I've done Pilates for years, but I'd never taken the Peloton Pilates, so I wanted to try it. And then I also, I'm really careful about my back. You know, when you need to lay on your back, anything like that, I have to be really careful about that. Because that is literally one of the hardest things for me to do, is to stay on my back, like laying down flat. That's challenging. And then part of Pilates are these rolls. I just cannot do that. Like I just can't. And it's not a core strength, it's a back thing. Like I don't have, so I have, if you've heard this before, I'm sorry, but I have permanent mobility loss. And so I have my L4, L5 just like doesn't work. It's like barely there. My L3, L4 is like right behind it. And so as a consequence, like that part of my back just works as like a sum, right? And so the whole thing goes. But when you have to articulate, like I just cannot articulate the lower part of my spine. And so I'm gonna try other instructors and see if they all kind of talk about, if they're all like really roll up heavy, because she was very roll up heavy. And I'm like, I just can't. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of just really, it's just a bummer, dude. Because you're just like, I used to be able to do this. And that's one of the things, that's one of my goals for next year, is like find a way to get back to the shape I was in before, but in a way that's respectful to my body and its limitations, that doesn't like push through and put myself in a really stupid spot that I know better to be in, because I'm so stubborn that like you know what I mean? Like I just can't do that. Okay, so now we do the lips. And then I'm gonna do my hair. I'm gonna do, I ordered new lip liners. I just restocks of all my Givenchy ones because they're like due. And they're real skinny. Like look at my little fuchsia one. It's like a joke how it's like barely usable. It's so tiny, right? Like where's your hand gonna go? So I'm gonna use my Carmen Escalpin and go for like a real classic red. I want to say something to you, but hang on. I'm gonna get this finished first so it doesn't look stupid. Okay, so if you ever notice, I notice this because I edit myself, but I also notice this because like professional. Sometimes I'll screw up my lip liner. My lips look like one side looks up from the other one. I have permanent nerve damage. I sound like a fucking mess, but like I have permanent nerve damage from having my wisdom teeth removed when I was 30. And so like I literally cannot feel from like here to here, lip down, like this whole swath. I can't feel it. And so, and I'm got that coloring to where like my lips are like there's nothing. That's why like I don't ever do a nude lip because I look dead. But like it's that combination of I can't feel it and I can't see it. You know what I mean? And so you're just kind of like trying to match this side because I can feel, oh, that's my skin, that's my lip. And it literally is the same color on the perimeter of my lip. So it's like, for somebody who has it, it's still a daily challenge. So if you ever wondered like, why is her lip, that's why, because I just am busy and I'm in a hurry, or I got distracted and I didn't finish, or I didn't catch it. The amount of times I've done my makeup in the dark, all of that, right? And so I just got myself going like, oh, and then I was like, I should probably talk about that because my dentist at the time said to me, he's like, I had big wisdom teeth and I have a small mouth. So I have crowding is like my problem. And he was like, your teeth were like on your, I guess, nerves. Like he goes, so it's kind of a matter of like, how bad is it going to be? Because it's like, we were there. And I'm like, cool. And then sure enough, I'm like, whoa. And so like this whole section, if I get food on my face, I can't feel it, like it's a thing. And when I first got my wisdom teeth taken out, I think the first like 6 months, I literally would take a bite with a compact open because it was so egregious and I couldn't even feel the spoon or the fork on my mouth. Oh, it was terrible. So I'd be like dragging it, you know what I mean? Like it's so over the top. But yeah, so if you ever wanted to know why, that's why. And then I'm gonna use my go-to Heaven Scent liquid lip. I am so obsessed with this formula, with this color. I'm happy with it, so happy with it. I ordered another color and I'm gonna definitely get at least one other one because I just cannot say enough. It's so comfortable. It stays put. Like you really have to wash your mouth to get it off, but it's comfortable. It doesn't feel like shrink wrap, and it's versatile with lip liner. And it's like it's got a good, it's just a perfect matte liquid. I just said that whole thing and didn't realize I was blocking you. Yeah, I'm so pleased with this. Again, like Louboutin is just like, Louboutin Beauty is just turned me into such a fan. And like, it's like art, yo. It's art. Amazing. All right, so that's my everyday, like holiday glam look, if you will. I'm gonna take my little bang clip out and I'm gonna do my hair now. And I'll circle back. Okay, so I fixed my bangs, I curled my hair, we're good to go. So this is, I didn't film my hair curling because it literally never changes and it's been in other Get Ready With Me. So if you're dying to know, I just use a 1-inch ultra curling wand that I've had for like 10 years and it's still holding on like a champ, and I just wrap my hair. I'll link the other Get Ready With Me where you can actually see it, but it's just like super repetitive. So I'm not quite sure how captivating that'll be on like the 3rd or 4th go. But yeah, so this is like this is what I've been doing literally every day. The only thing that changes is sometimes I don't put the shadow on the liner on my eye, and then my lip liner will change. But this is a classic red combo that I've been doing and loving. It's super easy, it stays on all day. Yeah, so very fitting for 2020. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.